I am Nur Aqilah Mohd Razli. I want to present about Malaysia Airlines Company. First, introduction. Background of Malaysia Airlines. MAS is founded in 1947 as Malaysian Airways, but it has changed its name as Malaysia Airlines System in 1 October 1972. MAS headquarters is situated at Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah Airport in Subang, Selangor. MAS operates flights at its first base in Kuala Lumpur International Airport and secondary base in Kota Kinabalu. Malaysia Airlines has two subsidiaries, is Firefly MAS Wings. The airline focuses on tertiary city, although has recently launched service to Borneo from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. From a small air service, Malaysia Airlines has grown to become award-winning airline with more than 1,000 aircraft, servicing more than 110 destinations across 6 continents. The slogan for Malaysia Airlines is going beyond expectation. The story of Malaysia Airlines. Malaysia Airlines was founded in 1937 through an idea by the Alfred Port Steamships Company in Liverpool. Worked together with the Imperial Airways from Britain and Straits Steamship Company in Singapore. This had built the outcome of Malaysian Airways Limited or MAL on the same years. The 1960s was a significant decade as the country that now as Malaysia was formed in 1963, incorporating Malaya, Singapore, Sabah and Sarawak. Malaysia Airlines Limited not long after welcomed Borneo Airways Limited into its family. MAS were officially launched on 30 September 1972. The airline took the skies as truly Malaysian very own national carrier on 31 September, 3 months ahead of schedule. In February 1980, we implemented a computerized cargo retrieval system, and a year later, MAS 2.6 million maintenance hangar was officially opened. In 1991, the airlines received the 1990 Asian Institute of Management or World Executive Digits Management Awards in the General Management category. The new millennium MAS headquarters is situated at Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah Airport in Subang, Selangor. The renewed millennium saw MAS achieving their dream of being an international recognized and respected airline by the 21st century. In December 2005, Dato Sri Idris Jalil joined Malaysia Airlines as our Managing Director of Chief Executive Officer.
Okay, my name is Syahidah Syahirah binti Ghaffar. So I will continue the next slide, which is service provider. Malaysia Aviation Group (MAG) is a global aviation organisation with subsidiaries and equity investments organised into 4 distinct business segment, which is air transportation service, ground service, aircraft leasing and talented development. The business segments will have flexibility to explore collaborative opportunities for raising capital, making the subsidies more competitive and responsive, thus strengthening our position in the market. There are many types of service, which is Malaysia Berhad, Firefly, MAS Wings, MAB Academy, EO Darat Service, MAB Cargo, Amal by Malaysia Airlines, MAB Engineering, and MAB Leasing.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NurHafizah Shafie, and my ID number is 2017667494, and I'm going to explain about the issues and the problem that faced by Malaysia Airlines. The first issue is two plane was shot and disappeared on 2014. These issues really shocked all of us, even the whole world was shocked about it, because on 8 March 2014, MH370 was disappeared suddenly from the radar, and until now nobody know what exactly happened to them, and until now nobody was found at all, and this is really upset the whole world. And for Malaysia Airlines, this case really make a big trouble for them. Even until now they still fix their problem, and there's give a really big impact on them. On 7 July 2014, which is the same year, MH17 was shot on Ukraine, and all the passenger, the staff, and even the pilot was died in that tragedy. And you know, that's a few months after we lost MH270 and MH17, the next plane that get shot, and you know, the whole world was shocked. But for Malaysia Airlines, they really have a trouble with it, because of they have a problem with finance, the safety, also the management of the company was cracked. Until now they still fixing the bug. They still try to fix the financial, try to fit the safety, try to fit the even the management, but everything was miserable, you know, everything was unmanaged at all, and it was bad for them. And the second issue, which is COVID-19. Now this is the time where we face a new virus that really make us scared, because of this is the dangerous virus, and the whole world was scared. And you know, we can't even go out of home. We need to stay at home. We need to have a new habit, new daily life, the new way of life. We really need to put the hygiene first, because this virus really make us scared, because it can make us die. You know, a lot of people, 1,000 or even 1,000,000 people will die because of this virus, and it give a big impact for the airline company, which is not just Malaysia Airlines. I think every airline company, or even every company, every business in this world was very stuck because of this virus, because the economy was cracked, and you know, it make a big damage of the world. And for Malaysia Airlines, they have a really big problem, because they are on their way to fix their company, to fix their financial, their management and everything. But because of the COVID, they really stuck at the financial. They really need to handle this situation wisely, and I think this is so bad for them. And yeah, COVID-19 is such a big issue, so we're still facing it now, and I hope it's going to be better soon. And thirdly is lack of management. Yes, lack of management. Since 2014, since that day, there's too many issues about too many issues about this company. But because of the lack of management, they can't even fix it properly. Okay, because their management is so miserable, so bad, and they almost just sell their company over and just close the company. And until now, they are about to close their company, and there's a few people that say that they shouldn't close their company because Malaysia Airlines can survive if they have a good management. And I think these three issues have a big impact and really relate to each other and really make a big trouble for this company.
The next slide, how they handle it. Two planes were shot and disappeared. First, MH370. In the early morning of March 8, 2014, a daily routine flight, Malaysia Airlines MH370 from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, was reported missing with all passengers and crew. For the past 6 years, in a massive search and rescue operation from the South China Sea to the Southern Indian Ocean, no trace of the aircraft has been found. While operations to detect the location of MH370 are still ongoing. In January 2015, the Malaysian government declared the disappearance as an accident. Second, MH17. Malaysia Airlines Flight 17, also known as MH17, is a scheduled international passenger flight from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur. The Boeing 777-200ER crashed in the eastern Ukraine near the Russian border on July 17, 2014, with 283 passengers and 15 cabin crew from various countries, killing all passengers and crew of the aircraft. It was reported to have dropped 50 to 80 kilometers before entering the Russian airspace. Early Reuters report that the Ukrainian government suspected the plane was shot down by surface-to-air missile bark at 10,000 meters. Okay, second, cause of COVID-19 issue. In regard to the latest COVID-19 outbreak, Malaysia Airlines have to stop all the activities because the Malaysian government announced a nationwide lockdown with increasing coronavirus cases in the country. Under the Movement Control Order (MCO), except essential service, all others will be closed. Third, lack management. The objective of a recovery plan is to create a step-by-step process of incident prevention, identification, response, and recovery for an organization. Before creating the plan, organization should formulate crisis recovery strategy that will provide a plan of action to handle an accident. The organization should also consider important factors while developing the strategy, such as resources at their disposal, management role, cost and benefits, human limitation, technology capabilities and limitations, and also regulatory guidelines. Finally, it needs to ensure that the strategy and planning are aligned with the overall business vision and mission. Once the strategy is developed, an organization should transform it into the new recovery action plan.
Recommendation of Malaysian Airlines. Okay, first, MH17 and MH370. Okay, 1.1. MH17. A court tribunal must be constituted by the United Nations or UN. The tribunal should continue to focus on international law bearing on the MH17 plane crash. Although the UN already has an International Criminal Court (MJA) that can also prosecute the MH17 case, the MJA needs national recognition and is accepted as a part of local legislation before a court can proceed. Okay. Not all countries recognize MJA. The countries involved in the accident are the Netherlands, and Australia is the country that recognize the MJA. Other countries such as Russia, Ukraine, and Malaysia have not yet recognized the MJA, including the United States (US). The establishment of a tribunal is the best way to resolve this case, and the guilty party is who the justice. 1.2 MH370. Operation agency search for MH370 is now 4 months after it was reported missing on March 8. The intensity of the news in the mass media has diminished compared to the first month of the plane's disappearance. Before the black box of the 11-year-old Boeing 777-200ER was discovered, aviation experts and analysts around the world had coming up with various theories and possible myths. Among the many causes of technical faults and pilots are the consequence of structural damage, bad weather, electrical failures of aircraft, and human factors or sabotage and hijacking. COVID-19. The spread of a new coronavirus or COVID-19 has caused tourists around the world to express concern over the outbreak. They are worried about travelling and using transport service when 20 countries are affected with COVID-19. Malaysia Airlines (MAB) is also taking precautionary measures to prevent the spread of the epidemic and reduce customer concern. MAB's Chief of Corporate Security Supervisor Dr. Muhamad Razli said the Ministry had taken early action to ensure the safety of users and crew of aircraft. We also distribute the health warning card (HAC) issued by MOH to passengers to declare current health condition. Passengers with fever, difficulty breathing, and coughing need to undergo medical examination. Passengers are also advised to bring face masks to protect themselves and to practice coughing and sneezing and hand washing. Last point is a lack of management. Australian National Carrying Qantas Airlines Ltd had planned to take over Malaysia Airlines a decade ago but was unsuccessful under pressure from the union. Low-cost carrier Asia also nearly entered into a stock exchange agreement with Malaysia Airlines in 2011, but Malaysia Airlines cases and internal intervention is said to be the cause of the failure. The government and the Treasury will surely review all the recommendations on their merits. Foreign and domestic components can join because to restore Malaysia Airlines, a great deal of expertise and experience and capital are needed. Malaysia Airlines was fully acquired by the largest shareholder of Khazanah Nasional Berhad in 2014, even though the countries with funds already holds 70% of the airline share.
Next, conclusion. MAS headquarters is situated at Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah Airport in Subang, Selangor. MAS is founded in 1947 as Malaysian Airways, but it has changed its name as Malaysia Airlines System in 1 October 1972. MAS is the flag carrier which is owned by Government of Malaysia. MAS operates flights at its first base in Kuala Lumpur International Airport and secondary Kota Kinabalu. Malaysia Airlines has their own ways of dealing with problems that have already occurred of Malaysia Airlines. First, Malaysia Airlines handled 2 plane were shot and disappeared, MH370 and MH17. There are 2 incidents for Malaysia Airlines. Lawyer Mike Danko of the United States said the agreement placed its responsibility on airlines to compensate beneficiaries in the event of an accident. Accidents are defined as unusual or unexpected event that occurs outside of passenger control. Next, COVID-19. Malaysia Airlines have taken steps of reduce staff salaries for several in an effort to handle the effect of COVID-19 affecting the company year earnings. Besides that, the company also cut 10% of the salaries and senior management allowance of all company for 3 months start in March 2020. Lastly, lax management. The MA recovery plans and overall organization contain 12 points and cover the essential under 4 categories. Yet, apparently, it does not seem to have been effective as can be seen from the media criticism all along, especially after the second disaster. This is because it perhaps does not contain sufficient disaster prevention activities that relate to the MH330, MH337 and MH70 disaster. Issues of the Malaysia Airlines of 2 planes were shot and disappeared. This issue gave a huge impact on Malaysia Airlines and there were very huge loss in the company. This case had a lot of rumors and it made the condition of company even worse. This case is actually the lack of safety of the planes. The company failed to detect their location and the searching expedition was suspended after failed to recover for the plane MH370. The world shocked again by the news of MH17 was shot down and crashed while flying over the Ukraine. This case made the company have lost almost everything and started from this MAS facing a lot of issues including financial, safety, also management of the company. Next, issue of COVID-19. In early 2020, the world shocked by a dangerous virus that named as coronavirus. This issue gave big impact of the airlines company include Malaysia Airlines. All the flight and scheduled flight was cancelled and stopped. It made the company whole and big loss. The problem that they faced before is not settled yet. For the lack management, the management of this company became weak and the government tried their best to fix, but there are no one who is sweet enough to handle Malaysia Airlines. Because of this problem, the government considered to close the company, but it is not easy as that. for the recommendation of the Malaysia Airlines of COVID-19. MAB Chief of Corporate Security Supervisor Dr. Mohd Razli Zaman said the ministry had taken early action to ensure the safety of users and crew of aircraft. We also distribute the Health Warning Card HAC issued by MOH to passengers to declare current health conditions. Passengers with fever, difficulty breathing and coughing needs to undergo medical examination. Passengers are also advised to bring face masks to protect themselves and to practice coughing, sneezing and hand washing. Next, MH117. The Dutch legal system is also not suitable for use despite the universal provisions to prosecute war crimes. Malaysia ex-country owned by MH17 has gone too far to enforce its laws. The best option is a UN recognized tribunal. As for the Netherlands, if Malaysia does not want to support the draft tribunal, the Dutch no choice but to join the European Union and the US to deliver immediately to track the aircraft. For MH370, strategic assets need to be delivered immediately with depth of up to 10 km. The mission to locate MH370 in the southern zone of the Indian Ocean was accepted by several countries, including Australia, capable of using the P3 Orient and Bullfin 21 detectors doing oceanography works. The end goal of the research is to find a black box and then locate the carcass. This black box is the best way to find the answer to the cause of the incident. Recommendation of lag management. Operational efficiency is critical of Malaysia Airlines, especially in the context of leveraging technology to improve passenger experience. Also, do not forget the management staff following the previous rationalism step, which saw the dismissal of a large number of workers. This is important because human resources are an important factor in success, especially in handling passengers.